Hey there, come and rejoin this conversation. This is actually part 2 of what should have been a one-parter. I just got connected to a new Wi-Fi and it tossed off everything. So we're gonna let that be. I'm not gonna let some technological things impact this conversation. We're just gonna jump right back in it. If you haven't watched the first one, just go over to the other post that talks about why is being inclusion, why is talking about inclusion, why does it feel so non-inclusive? Something to that effect. Let's get into the heart of it, right? So if you, at the end of the last video, I was just talking about the part of my morning routine. Part of my morning routine is to listen to the song "This Is Me" that is on The Greatest Showman, and it's part of what I do to prime for the day, to get ready for the day, to like really make my day something where I can show up for each of you in a way that I really believe that you deserve and you require of me. And there's one line in there that says, "I am bruised," and I think about the "I am bruised," and I love it. When I hear that, usually when I have like an external like release, for 2 reasons. One of it being that it means that I don't need to be perfect, right? I am bruised. I am out there. You can see it. I'm bruised. I'm hurting, you know? So that's one reason there. And the second reason why I love it is because, to me, I think there's a Theodore Roosevelt is the person who made the quote, but it says something to the effect of being in the arena. Like there's something about people who are on the sidelines, and then there's another thing about people who have actually gone into the arena and they're taking their beatings, they're taking their bruises, and I wish I had the quote on top of me right now. I didn't expect it to go. If you know what the quote is, just copy and paste it into the comments. Let's make sure that people have a chance to see that. But the general gist of it is, whenever I hear this here, it talks about the fact, it comes out to me that, you know, you can say anything you want from the sidelines. It's great. It's easy to be a critic in that kind of fashion. But to actually be in the arena, to actually be there, taking the punches, to be putting yourself in a position where, you know, someone may not like what you say, or you might have to find out that this product that you wanted to get out there, no one wants it. Whatever it is, you're taking the punches. You're in the arena and you're being bruised. And so this whole line of thought, it started from the place of a call to action to any of you out there that do see things differently, that do feel that there's a place out there where perhaps the vocal majority are just loud. Maybe not even the vocal majority, maybe they're the vocal minority. Because, so I'm just gonna say it. It can be incredibly painful to talk about this kind of stuff. There's the right way to talk about all these different types of issues. And this is why I tend to stay away from race, gender, sexual orientation stuff. Because to me, it just feels like they feel like red herrings towards the actual thing that we want. Let's be real. We need people to be held accountable, right? We need systems where if there are rules that are set up, it applies to everyone. It doesn't apply to just some people. And not like that. At the end of the day, that's what we're all going for. We're going to say we have chosen to live in a society. We have chosen as humans to be a certain type of way, and we all do our part to uphold it. However, if we cannot trust that system, then, or if that's being applied in different ways to different people, then we have issues. I think the thing that comes up here is that there's a lot that I have to say about this. I'm actually even like considering going out one day and just saying, you know what, I'm gonna just put on a camera and just go at it, you know, and share some thoughts. But up until that point, I just want to let all of you others that feel that you want to add something to the conversation, but you're afraid that you might say the wrong thing or do it the wrong way or offend someone. I say, like, let's do it. Your opinion matters. And not from the sense of, hey, I have an opinion, you have to listen to me and you have to take it and like, I can't believe you didn't listen to my opinion. It's not that. That's coming from a weak perspective in my opinion. So I'm gonna ask you to step up if that's the case. This is instead, it's about enriching the conversation. It's about having the conversation. It's about allowing for this to even exist out into the world. Because it's so, all I know is this. If we don't talk about it and if we don't do anything about it, we're just gonna get way more of the same. And I find it to be I find it to be exactly the result of someone who's currently in power, someone who currently has what they want, to have a whole lot of activity with no action. As long as things don't actually change, then like why not do these things? And it bothers me when I can talk to some of the kindest people that I know, some of the people who I've had some of the deepest conversations with, and they feel silenced. They feel silenced because if they go ahead and say something, well, they might be stepping on the wrong someone's toes. They might be offending someone. Maybe we need to offend people more. I don't know. Take what I say with a grain of salt. I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. I just want to let you know that if you are someone that is ready to say something or has something to say, we need to hear it. Lives can be changed just through that experience. And I want to make sure that we're putting it all out there. I want to make sure, and look, I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I am not saying that it's going to be fun. I'm not saying that you're going to come out of the arena unscathed. You're going to get your bruises, and that's fine. We're hurting all around for so many different reasons. And just to have you be a part of this conversation, well, I think what you will find is that you'll find that you're not actually part of the minority. There are people out there that want to hear what you have to say. There are people out there that want to have intellectual conversations about the things that matter. And then they want to take action. It's weird. I say it's weird, but let me catch myself there. It's not weird at all. It's how I look at things. I'm done with debates. A lot of people are like, let's go ahead and debate. I'm like, no. Give me a second. There's loud noises. Loud noises. All right, cool. I'm done with debates. And the reason for that is, like, I'm not trying to prove whether or not my way of thinking is the right way of thinking, or why your way of thinking is wrong. I just don't see the value in that. There's so many different things that we could actually be creating instead of debating, right? Ooh, I like that. Create, don't debate. Let's see how long that lasts. But the idea here then being, how do we engage in conversations? And because quite frankly, I'm going to call it out, we don't know how to talk to each other. We don't know how to have conversations. And probably more than that, y'all, we don't know how to influence one another. We think we have to convince people, we have to debate them. I'm just going to call it out. We don't currently have the skills to be, well, we do, but we're not utilizing them. And the people who do have the skills are being silenced and pushed to the side. Why? Probably because they built these skills in order to bring people together. Probably because they built these skills because they wanted everyone to feel great. And in a world where like a comment can like really cut someone, I just look at it. I'm like, oh, there are inclusion trolls out there, and they don't even know it. They don't even know it. They're just like without actually playing the game and being without intentionally doing it. They're just trolling all over everyone. And it's just really funny. It's just a sad thing in that regard. So I wanted to be out here, make sure that you know that there are others out there that say, we need to hear it. Add it to the conversation. And let's have a fun time with it from there. You'll hear me talk a little bit more about this and some other things here. But all this is all part of pioneering leadership to me. All this is part of pioneering leadership, where possibility, inclusion, authenticity, innovation, effortlessness, experience, resourcefulness, and safety all come to play, right? Like, what kind of a leader are you? What are you doing? How are you leading others? Are you in the smallest situation, just having the conversation, just opening the door and just seeing what happens? Those are my pioneers. I'm going to make sure that you know that you're in great shape. You're not alone. And the longer that we stay quiet about this, the more isolating it feels. To think that I myself can talk to my wife and say, hey, I feel so alone out there. I feel that there's no one I can have really great conversations. I get it in pockets with people who've been kind enough to engage and go deep with me. I'm like, when I think about it, I'm like, no, that's false. That's a falsity. That's not actually what's happening. But it is really scary to say what is actually on your mind. Similar to how scary it is to just be yourself. So I'm going to invoke that. I'm going to call that out of you. We need your voice. We need your voice. Say it, mess up, apologize. And if someone messes up, let it happen and move forward. Unless you don't want change. And I'm going to call you out on that if that's the case. If it's more important for you to be right and then for there to be change, I don't necessarily know like how we can move forward on that. So just think about that. To all my pioneers out there, keep leading, keep doing the things that you're doing. Know that we need to hear from you. We need your voice. Take care.